more on electricity. So I have a little hand crank. I'm going to hook that up to my tiny lamp light bulb. So when I don't turn, the bulb doesn't shine. When I turn slowly, the bulb glows. When I turn fast, the light burns fast. When I stop, the light is out. So this produces electricity, which is shown, which lights up the bulb. We talked already about that. And this is called a generator. I'm curious. Who owns a generator? Somebody owns a generator? No, but
the marching band does.
The marching band has a generator. Okay, good. Thanks for. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have to, because when we go out for like events, we need food, and that's what runs our slow cookers.
Yeah, the student is saying the marching band needs a generator, so. To power their electricity gadgets that they have, lights and amplifiers and things like that. Good. So the marching band has one, but none of you has a generator. Okay, I'll ask you again later. Can you help me? And hold this. That's all. Okay. So I found another generator that a student, what's your name? Randy. Mm-hmm. Randy is holding for us. So I'll hook these two generators up with wires. Okay, Randy, hold it up real nice and high. And watch what happens. I crank. We know this is a generator, and this is what? Electricity goes in and motion comes out. It's an electromotor. Randy, I want you to crank. Stop. What did we say? This is electromotor, but now you're using it at what? Generator, and that was first a generator, and now it's used as what? Electromotor. Crank again, slowly. A little bit faster. Faster, 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 faster. Stop! And crank again. Because when you stop, the electricity stops. Okay, other way around. Thank you. Who owns an electromotor? Somebody? 1.5 student own an electromotor. Who has used an electromotor today? 1 student has, 2 students have used an electromotor. Okay. If you've driven with a car, turn the ignition key and the engine turned over. Guess what turned the engine over? An electromotor. If you use the windows, move the windows up or down or the seat back or forth, you've used an electromotor. If you have an electric toothbrush, you've used an electromotor. If you use the elevator, do I have to go on and on and on and on? Okay, so in the kitchen already, several appliances, electromotor, electromotor, electromotor. So your car also has a generator when that recharges the battery. So let me ask again, who owns a generator? I knew it was more than nobody. And who owns an electromotor? I knew it was more than 1.5 students. Everybody has, many of them. And each electromotor is a generator, is an electromotor, is a generator. So can be used both ways, as an electromotor, as a generator. So let's fill that in. from electric to, let's do first what we did first, from motion to electricity. That is a generator. In the car, it's also called an alternator. And the opposite, from electric energy to energy of motion, that is the electromotor. While we're at it, I want to show something interesting. So here I have the bulb that I used to show. I have another bulb in this little green box. It's called a capacitor. It has the capacity to store energy storage, which is still a large problem. If you had better capacitors, then electric cars would be all around. So it's not a battery, no chemical reaction is taking place, it only stores the electricity that we can generate by cranking a generator. So now I let the electricity go into the storage box, the capacitor. What's that? Now it's discharging. So right now I'm using it as what? Generator or electromotor? Generator. And now it's what? Electromotor. Where does the electricity come from? Comes from the box. If you want to discharge it through the bulb, here it is. Electromotor. Bulb. So, as I say, that's one of the unsolved problems, to have better storage devices to power electric cars. There's a conversion. We'll record it in a moment, but it's to which form of energy? To motion from what? Well, there's that fan. It's an electromotor. Make a little bit better contrast. So what interferes with the fan is a little filing card, and here's that box. I will shove that filing card under the box. That kills it. That revives it. One student thinks the energy has something to do with the light. If the light is blocked out from that box, so there's a little bit of friction. Sometimes it needs a little help to get started. Overcome friction. So now it moves a bit slower, still slower, barely, and now it moves fast again. So the light has something to do with it. And so this is a photocell, or also photovoltaic cell. It's a conversion from light to energy. So let's fill that in. So that is from light energy to electric. That'll be here, the photocell. I just saw near campus there are these stop signs, and they have lights. On top of that sign are photocells, and there's a storage battery. So sunlight is converted during the day and used up at night. In Europe, many roofs are already covered with photocells, photoelectric cells. Not so many here. Although here we have much more sun, so we should have more, and they'll come in the future when the cost of these gadgets are lower. In Europe, they are supported by the state. That's why one sees so many Okay.